Welcome back to District 23. I am your host, Brotha Adam. We have a special episode today. I got two of my good friends in here today with me. They have an amazing project that they're working on. A project that kind of pulls at the heartstrings. It's a dope little love letters to sons written by parents and people in their lives that are instrumental. I was excited to have you guys come in and speak about what you're doing. Welcome to District 23, ladies.
Thank you.
We got the beautiful Miss Phaedra Allen and the beautiful Bridgette Washington.
Hey.
Welcome. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Yeah?
How are
Guys
you?
feeling good? I'm
Yes.
good. Oh, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Nobody ever asked me the question back. That's how I know you care, B. That's how I know you care.
I do.
All right, so you guys have this project you've been working on. The title is
Letters to our
Letters to our
sons.
sons.
Letters to Our Sons.
Yes.
That's a beautiful name. Before we get into the book, I always like to start the conversation with giving our listeners a few or intro to you guys' bio, your background.
Okay.
So education, where you grew up, what is it that you girls do now?
Can we take it first?
All right. Well, I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
All right.
I met Phaedra at DCFS, so we were both social workers.
Mm.
And I'm still a social worker today, but I'm also a licensed mental health therapist. And yeah, I went to school out here. I went to Mount St. Mary's.
Oh,
For
nice.
grad school, I went to Loma Linda.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay. LA native, born and raised.
Yes.
Faye?
I'm a Long Beach girl.
There you go.
So, yeah, Long Beach. We met at DCFS, as she said, when I was serving as a social worker. So, still in the social work industry, but now I'm into coaching, training, and teaching at a local university.
Nice.
Went to USC for my master's in social work, and here we are.
There you go. So you guys met at work
Yes.
and became friends in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful story.
We did.
Nice. All right. So then let's talk about the book. Like, how'd the concept come about? Like, where were you guys at when this kicked off, or who came up with the idea?
I think it was just during a really interesting time. I think at that time we had just experienced Trayvon Martin's murder,
Okay.
Michael Brown's murder, and it was just a series of things that were going on in the community.
Gotcha.
And so Bridgette and I both like having a heart for the community, Black community, and being in
Mhm.
touch with these issues. We just had a conversation about, just in recognition that we needed something.
Yeah,
We needed
for sure.
something, the community needed something, and thought that this may be a good way to answer that.
Oh, dope.
And I think that was kind of like the foundation of our friendship, because we did express like how much we love Black people and
Yeah.
how we were concerned about, the community that we grew up in. And we literally just wanted to provide something for them, like contribute our piece
Oh, I love
to
that.
the
Yeah.
Black community.
Well, your time in social work too, did it help impact the book at all also, or no?
That's a good question.
I think our social work practice, I think because it's a passion, if I can speak for both, I think
Yeah.
it's a passion of ours. And I think whatever we do, that's always going to be in the center of it.
Gotcha.
Black folks are our passion, it's our focus. And so whatever capacity we can serve the community, I think our job just becomes our platform.
Okay.
So this was just another
Basically,
platform
yeah.
for us to do that.
Oh, I love it. So everybody has tons of ideas, but never execute, right?
True.
Mhm.
So you guys had this conversation, was like, hey, I got an idea for this book.
Yeah.
What was like, how do you then execute this? What was step one, or when did you guys get the ball rolling?
It was a long process.
It was a long
definitely
process.
a
How
long
long is long?
process. We've been working on and off for the book for almost like 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that long.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But the
All
thing
right.
is, like, we set it down for a while.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
not like it was consistent.
Mhm.
But yeah, the first thing was like the demographics.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It wasn't hard to reach out to people to ask
Mhm.
them to participate. I feel like a lot of people were excited to
Yeah,
participate.
for
sure.
So I think the hardest part for us when doing the book was like after everything was done
Oh,
and
okay.
the little bits and pieces to actually create the book. That was
Yeah.
like a learning process for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So and then because there's so many people that have contributed,
Yes.
Yeah.
what was it? How was that process of getting people to say, be open and vulnerable? Because that's when I read some of these letters, I was like, man, people were really very vulnerable.
Yeah, pour their
And
hearts
exposed,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was hard. I don't think it was hard at all.
Oh, everybody
because
pretty much.
I
it
think
was
they
good
wanted
feedback?
to express
Yeah.
themselves. Like, we literally gave people a platform to talk about the issues that they feel like they
Mhm.
couldn't talk about, especially as Black men. Like, they don't talk to each other about
Yeah.
like their emotions or what they're going through. So I feel like having a collection, like when they read these letters, they'll have a sense of like connection. We're like, I'm not the only person
Yeah.
going through this or experiencing this. Like their feelings are definitely going to be validated.
Oh, yeah.
And I think just to add to that, I think also at that time, like just in recognition of everything that we were feeling, right, with, Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, and just, I think as a community collectively, we were hurting.
Yeah.
And so this was really a way for us to capture everyone's feelings, our concerns, be able to communicate with each other through these letters. And so really people were excited to contribute, to open up and to share their thoughts. Because it was just really a way for us to connect everyone. And to give this gift back to our community.
What was the selection process like then? Like, did you guys put together like a dream list of the people you wanted to hear from, or?
We did want to make sure that it was people from different walks of lives.
Yeah.
Just because there's like, when you read the book, you still see that there's still, like every letter is kind of connected, even though there are definitely people from different walks of lives. And that was kind of like the whole point. At the end of the day, you're still Black. You know what I mean? So no matter what your job is, your income, we still go through the same things.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to make sure that we got a nice variety of voices that were represented in the book. So we didn't, and the thing too, the concept was all boys are ours, right? The community, these are our boys. So you didn't have to have a son in order to write a letter, but moving with the idea that this is our community, these are our boys. And so we got letters from married couples, single folks, gay, straight, incarcerated, judge. I mean, it just didn't matter. We just wanted to hear from everyone because we are a community.
And not everybody in the book had a son.
No.
Gotcha. Oh, that's dope. Okay.
I think it kind of takes a village. It goes back to that where it's like we should be each other's protectors.
Yeah, the community. Yeah. Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
So then once the letters started rolling in for you guys, was there like certain specific theme or tone you were looking for in the letters? Or how did you decide, okay, this letter is going to go in? We may not want to use this one. Like, what was that like?
But they definitely had to read as a letter. There were some that came in
gotcha,
kind of like in a report fashion, or and there was great information, but we really wanted to make sure that it was a letter, right?
Gotcha.
Really that read as if you were writing to your son, if you were writing to a child. What would you say? So I think we were looking for that intimacy or that connection point in the letters, and I think it really came through in those that made it in the book.
Yeah. It did.
I like that. You know, we're from the late 1900s, as these kids like to say.
Right.
Literally. We still use pens.
We still know how to write in cursive.
Right. We remember we're like, you couldn't send the text and you actually had to write a letter.
Right.
And that was such it was such an amazing feeling back in the day.
Yeah.
You remember how that was when you got that note passed to you,
Yep.
like, yo, Joe wrote you this letter. You're not the one I got the crush on.
I still appreciate handwritten
Exactly.
letters.
Yeah.
Like,
And you'd open that mug up, and then like it would
Absolutely.
evoke a feeling depending on what the letter said, right?
Yeah.
Good or bad.
And I'm a firm believer. Words are things. They're very important. They're things,
They are.
and they're gifts, right? And
Right.
it's energy you send out to the universe. It's energy you give each other, and so just kind of capturing what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
It's a way for us to give that energy to each other and to take the time and write it out.
Yeah.
And
it's like you're giving a piece
Find the
of
words.
yourself.
Oh, for sure. And it
to the audience.
it felt very much like that going through those letters. Like it, when I say tugs at the heartstrings, like I mean that. It's like, especially for me as a parent reading it, it made me think like, oh, I probably need to write my daughter a letter at some point, because it's something they could always go back to.
True.
Another dope thing, a compliment I'm gonna give you guys is I feel like it's parenting advice in here. So I took the book to work when you guys gave me the copy. I was reading through it. One of my coworkers just happened to be next to me, and he's a father of 5 boys, has a military background. He's like, "Can I take a look at that?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Oh, nice.
So he reads it, and then at some point he stops and he looks at me. He's like, "Man," he's like, "You know what?" He's like, I discipline my kids. I'm very structured and hard on them, but like I'm not telling my sons I love them enough. Like I need to be able to do what
That
these people are doing in this
emotional
book,
side,
right? And I
yes.
love that reaction. I think this is what the girls were hoping
Yeah.
people would take away from this, right?
Yeah.
But you guys also had other things, I'm sure, that you thought, okay, this is what I want people to take away. What did some of those things look like for y'all? Like, what were some of the takeaways you want people to get from this book?
I think a lot, like she mentioned earlier, was just like a sense of community, knowing that you're not out there alone, because you do, like we both have a lot of male friends, but I feel like they would express their feelings. You know what I mean? What's going on, the stressors of the world of just being a Black man.
Yeah.
So I feel like some people feel like they're all alone. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
it's like, am I the only person feeling this way? So I feel like they'll know where it's like, I have family. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
sense of family where it's like, I am not the only person out here. You're not on an island by yourself, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot. I'd say also some of the things that are hit on in this book are those conversations that sometimes are missed, you know, or if you don't have people in your life that are being intentional to have these conversations with you, you may not have had access to those conversations or have had a chance to have them. And so this is also, again, taking that community approach where maybe you didn't have someone who shared this with you, but you have this as a tool, right? You're getting the guidance and those lessons from someone. I think the other part too was we really wanted to humanize Black boys because, again, at the time where this idea was brought about, there was a lot going on. It really felt like it was an attack on our community and an attack on our boys.
Like,
absolutely.
Everybody felt it.
And so I think one of the big messages with this project too is that these are boys. These are ours. We love them. They are owned by someone. They are connected to people who love and care about them. And so really an effort to humanize boys and to see them as boys, not villains, not monsters, not grown men with backpacks and sneakers, but kids that are loved, that are connected.
And I think we both had a statement. We were like, what age do they start looking at Black boys as being like dangerous?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, because there is an age, you know what I mean? Where it's like, we don't look at you as an innocent kid anymore. And now we're looking at you as, you know, as something.
A target.
Yeah, a target.
Yeah.
And we also, to piggyback on that, we included like fathers from prison. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you can still father. You know what I mean?
You are a father, yeah.
You know, I think some people feel like, oh, I'm locked up. I don't have any control over my kids. It's like, no, you can still play a part in your child's life. So we just wanted to make sure that we included, you know what I mean, all fathers. And we did focus on fathers too, because I feel like everybody praises their mother. Like, we love our mothers, but I feel like Black fathers don't get enough credit.
So this book, Exceptional Letters, I noticed how amazing the photography was too. So there's a lot of pictures in there. Were people open to just having pictures of their children out there like that?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you did get some pushback.
Well, not really pushback.
No pushback?
No, I didn't really get any pushback.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think we were excited and maybe curious about the process, but
yeah, in the pictures we literally just wanted everyday life, you know,
gotcha.
Kids doing normal kid things, and the older kids and the adults. I mean, we literally just wanted realistic pictures, and we purposely for the pictures chose Black fathers because we do realize that mothers play a huge role, and I feel like mothers, you know, they get praised all the time, but not enough Black fathers do. So we did want to highlight that we appreciate the fathers and their involvement in their children's lives.
So the photography is all the Black fathers. The letters, though, are a collection from women as well.
Women and men. Yes.
Oh, okay. And not everybody had to have it, or had. The requirement wasn't to have a child. It's like, we just want you to write this letter to the boys. Oh, nice.
Because again, it was that community approach of these boys are ours. You don't have to be a biological parent, right, to give and to love and to nurture the community. So
that's a bar.
Yeah.
We have to clip that up. I love that.
Yeah.
You do not have to be a biological parent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a team of people that went into putting this book together, though. The parents, the photographer.
Yes.
Who else helped you guys out with this project?
Ooh, the editors, the photographer.
Attorney. Who got fired? Sounds like somebody got fired.
We had no one got fired.
What's the point of an attorney for people who want to do projects like?
Well, the attorney for us was the legal part.
Yeah.
So of course, for the photographer to sign over the pictures for each person who participated and wrote a letter, the intellectual property.
Copywriting the name, copywriting the project.
Oh, really?
Yes,
oh, yeah.
It was a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it was definitely
it was a learning process for you girls.
It was definitely a learning process.
Yeah. Is this something where, like, you would do this again then? Because now you know?
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier. Like, a lot faster.
Yeah.
Like, even looking for, like, places to print the book. You know what I mean? Like, that took time.
That was a big one.
It was,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a big one because the original format, those who don't, the original format, it was originally
12 by
set up for
12.
12 by 12. So it was going to be a much larger book.
Gotcha.
But then we're looking at the paperweight, we're looking at
which we had no idea about.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
it was a printing nightmare.
And when you say paperweight,
so,
you mean the
like
actual weight of the
£100
paper?
the paper. We learned a lot
That's
about
a thing.
paper,
That's a thing. Okay.
about printing. Yeah, we really had to learn a
formatting,
lot.
all of that. Like, we have so many copies where we're just like, what is this? Like, we
Yes.
had to print out so many before we finally made it. So that's what took time too, because we literally had to change the formatting. It's not just like
4
it's the
times.
size. Like, he has to go back and change everything. So it's like that took time.
And the
you
reason
know?
we did that is because we still wanted this, because it's a coffee table book, right?
Oh,
and
gotcha.
those can
Yeah.
sometimes be really pricey. And so we wanted to make sure that this was something that was going to be accessible to everyone. So
Exactly.
so we did. We had to reformat it, and that was a process, because technically this book was done a few years ago.
'Cause the
We finished this
copyright is
book
like
a few years
2021,
ago.
but it
Really?
was really just
Yeah.
the different sizes. So,
It was the
like, us
formatting.
trying
Y'all
to-
really mean
yeah.
10 years. Like, it was a 10-year
Yes.
struggle. All right, then what
Yes.
was...
You don't have to call it a struggle.
Correction. It was a 10-year labor of love.
Labor
Yes.
of
Labor
love.
of
That's
love.
what it was. That's what it was.
So then what was the
Yeah.
biggest lesson learned from actually just doing the process from each of you guys?
I got
You ladies,
one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
definitely say, like, I think you spoke to it earlier where you said, there's a lot of ideas that people have.
Right.
And there are. And we have a ton of them, right? We
Yeah.
always have these ideas. But I think for me, what I've learned is that the difference is the ideas that make it out and those that don't, the difference is you just don't give up. And there are so many invitations to stop. When we were going through this formatting issue and all of our frustrations with trying to problem solve here and there, there's always invitations to stop.
Did you guys have a
And the
conversation
thing
about
is,
stopping?
No, we never
there were-
did.
We
Oh,
didn't
gotcha.
stop on the project, but there were times
Never.
we were like, we need to take a step back.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
this is a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
And mind you, throughout this time, we're spending our money. We're not making money.
Money.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, we're not making money.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about LLCs every year,
Yes.
like all the legal aspects and everything. Like,
yeah.
we're just coming out of pocket.
Y'all didn't pass around a collection plate and get like
No.
contributors or
No.
investors?
Mm-mm.
People would have donated.
We
Some
did.
of your friends
we
that are
tried
some
to
of your friends that are in
do-
this
didn't we
room.
do like a Halloween.
We
We
tried.
tried to do some fundraiser.
We did, but like we flirted with the idea, but this has really just been us just
So
putting
this
this
is
together.
really our love.
Yeah,
Okay,
labor of
like for
love.
you. Okay, we dug in our pockets
Yeah.
for our community.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
You know, some of your friends that are in this room probably would have contributed had I known, but y'all didn't ask. So
I mean, it's not too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Brother
still
Adam?
going.
No, I mean, 'cause it's
There's
done.
Still,
Brother
there's
Adam?
still other books
'Cause
that
I
we
mean,
have to
'cause
order. Like,
but it's done right now. I can't even get my name in the book anywhere. So. All right. So you guys are close friends. You're laughing. Does this book make you guys fight at all at any point? Were you guys arguing, or was it just a beautiful?
I don't know if I say fight and argue, but I
It
think
wasn't fight.
there
I
were
think
some
it was like
points.
frustration.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
gotcha,
When
yeah.
it's like, let's get this going or let's not do this. And I
Yeah.
feel like for me, it's difficult when you have to depend on other people that you're working with to get
Mhm.
your stuff to you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Oh, gotcha,
So it's
gotcha.
like, can we please get that letter? Can you please
Yeah.
sign
Oh,
this release
yeah, yeah,
form?
yeah.
Like, can you
Yeah.
please do this? So, and honestly, that is how some people's letter didn't make it, because it's like, if you didn't get back to us
Yeah.
in time when we
Oh,
needed to
gotcha.
present it to the attorney, it's
Yeah.
like, we can't just sit here and wait for you forever
Yeah.
when there's other people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are waiting for us to produce whatever we need to produce. So,
Yeah.
so sometimes it wasn't that the letter was bad. It's just like, you didn't do your part like in a timely manner.
There were a
So-
lot of moving parts with this project.
Gotcha.
A lot of moving parts. I don't know if you really understand, but with each letter, there was a legal document associated with
Yeah.
that, and with every picture, there was a legal document associated with that. Everybody who touched this book had to sign
We just
something.
wanted to cover our backs just
Yeah.
to make sure,
Yeah.
like, I'm hoping that this book does amazing. You know what I
Right.
mean? But some
Yeah.
people feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
if their letter's in, it's like, well, do I, do I
Right.
get something from this? And I
Yes,
don't think
that
people
was the thing,
understood
too.
where it's like, we said, we put a lot of money into this. Like, so.
What was the biggest positive takeaway from the process then? I mean, that was like some of the struggle, but
Yeah.
what was one of the things you guys took away where you're like, okay, I love this part of the project. This was the best part.
I think there's a lot of parts. For me, I would say this part.
Oh,
I think this
like the
part.
completion
The
and
I
now
do,
putting it out there.
I'd say this part because again, like just going back to there's a lot of invitations to stop. I think that's with anything in life, and
Yeah.
so I think there's a lot of life lessons I think both of us can probably take out of this project. but I think now being able to see it and run with it and having the moment where I remember I took a picture of Bridgette. We were at a restaurant and she's holding the book because we know everything that went into this moment.
Yeah.
And so I think, and then I think also too, just when we get the feedback from people who get a chance to read it and look at it and really understand what this book is.
Yeah. Because even along the way, like, the copies that we did not like, we were still sharing it with people, and every single person, like, even when you're when we were describing what the book was about, there was no negative feedback at all. Like, everyone seemed excited. This is why we were like, this is needed. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, we've never like heard of anything like this before, and everyone was really excited. Like, everyone was, even the people that like participated, they had a sense of like, I don't say like accomplishment, but it's like they were able to express themselves. You know what I mean? Like, we gave them a platform to express yourself.
And being a part of something that is just collectively so moving. I think people were really excited
1000%.
about.
And timeless. I think this is a timeless book or project, whatever you want to call it. But like, I totally put this down and I'm like, this is something I could come back to in 10 or 12, 20 years. And you're still going to feel something.
Yeah, I think we got something out of it.
We did. And we don't want anyone to go through all of the letters all at once.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of information. It's like, read something, put it down for a little bit, come back and read another letter, because I feel like some of the letters are a lot to take in. So, I don't suggest just trying to sit down and read everything in one sitting.
Is this going to be a one of one or a first edition of many?
We'll say a first edition.
First edition,
honestly,
nice.
We still like the 12 by 12. So we were like, eventually, like, we still may have prints of that if people want to spend a little bit more and get a bigger size. It's definitely first edition.
Okay.
Yes.
Will we see something where you're writing to daughters? For us girl dads, out there.
Yes. That is our next project. We should be starting that soon.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. Dope. And then is there any, I guess, other audience you want to hit? There's sons, daughters, like, will you ever have something where kids are writing letters to the parents?
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, so actually that is a good because I think I did want to do like letters to our parents. And I feel like it'd be good for like adults to write letters to their parents, because I feel like there's a lot.
Oh, I like that. To the grandparents.
Especially in the Black community. I just feel like some kids, it's like, I can't say anything to my parents. You know what I mean? It's like whatever they say, and that's just that, you know?
That's the law,
Exactly. So I feel like even if they don't even want their parents to read it or to know, like, this is what I'm expressing, but I feel like a lot of adults need to get things, like, off their chest. Childhood trauma, whatever it may be, writing it down helps a lot. So I definitely feel like that would be healing, actually, for a lot of adults.
Another way we talked about was doing workbooks also for kids. Kind of spinning off of the letters to our sons, but creating workbooks where they, kids can interact with it more and color and draw and journal.
There's amazing quotes in there, like uplifting quotes. So that can be a part of the book. We just want to encourage little Black boys. You know what I mean? Like, as much as we can.
I think you guys did that. And then you guys also have what do you got coming up? Is a book release?
We do.
Yes, our launch party. Yes. So that's going to be actually next Saturday, the 16th.
Yes.
It's going to be at the Billie Jean King Library in downtown Long Beach. So we're excited. So we'll have our photographer there, our editor,
honestly,
our community.
I feel like other people were more excited because they were just like, we've been waiting. Like, we have been waiting for this. So that's good.
Nice. And what can they expect from the event?
We're trying to bring the feeling of this book into the room. So we're going to have the pictures displayed. We're going to have, like I said, the photographer there. We're going to be there. We're going to be answering questions.
There's going to be a slideshow of some of the pictures.
Nice.
Folks who have participated in the book will be there. So they'll get a chance to meet everyone and to just learn more.
Like, we're selling it and we're signing it while we're there.
You guys have the price point already, or?
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
Are you?
You can. We're selling it for $60.
$60.
Nice.
So,
all right. All right. And then other events after this one? Or is this like we're just
This is the first of many.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this will be the first of many.
And I'm happy it's kind of the end of the year because people can get these for Christmas gifts,
Absolutely.
for
For sure.
holidays, and plus next year, February, Black History Month. I feel like there was a lot of events that we could have went to, but like we said, it took long for the book formatting. So it's like, and everything I feel like happens when it's supposed to happen, even though we were like, we could have did this 2 years ago, or we could have did this. But next year. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like there's lots of festivals and events
Yeah.
happening in the beginning of the year, so
I
we'll
love that.
definitely be a part of that.
And
Yeah,
our
'cause I
goal is
feel-
to have it in bookstores
Yeah.
and really just make it available to everyone as much as possible. So
And we still would like to get it connected to a publishing company. Like that is like the end goal, you know.
Nice.
yeah.
Well, hopefully somebody sees this.
Yes.
I
You know
so
what I think though? I
do.
think letter to our sons could turn into like a community though, where you
Yeah.
guys just do
Yeah.
events for like,
Oh.
you know, parenting in the Black community.
Yeah.
You know, just having
Workshops
opportunity,
or-
workshops, having
yeah,
opportunity for
definitely.
people to like socialize and also share ideas
Yeah.
Absolutely.
or give parenting tips that could benefit people.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
And I think it also helps too because clearly I'm a therapist.
Mhm.
She's going to be a therapist.
Yeah.
So even having that in her background, it's like that's also if you want your kids to or whoever wants to talk to a Black therapist
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
whatever it may be. So I feel like because of our background and doing this, like it can open up a lot of avenues to our
1000%.
supporters. Yeah.
And if I can add too, just, you know, again, because we have the social work background, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about our kids who, you know, our Black foster youth who are in homes where there is no cultural mirroring, right? So you have African American children in homes where the parents are Latino or Asian or white. You know, they may not necessarily know the conversations that our children need to have, right? And so this is a
Yeah.
really good launch into some of those discussions. And so our hope is also that, again, people who may not look like the little boy on the book, but still find value in the conversations and how to engage the people that they love in their lives. So,
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah.
I like that. All right. Well, if you guys could leave a lasting word to people that are going to read this book or just a word of encouragement for people to grab the book, what would you say that is? And you could talk to the camera right there. Whoever wants to go first.
Lasting words. I guess I would just let all the Black boys know that we love you and that we're here for you. We hear you and we see you. And I hope that you take a piece of our work with you and somehow it can improve your life in a positive way.
Yeah. This is a collection of love letters. This is a collection of love letters from the community that loves you, the community that sees you and is really rooting for you from all corners of the globe. So just know that and remember that.
I love
Yeah.
that. Well, if I may express some gratitude to you ladies, I think what you guys did, providing a vehicle for people to like show kindness to
Yeah.
Black boys is amazing because we don't always feel that.
Yeah.
To have words that hit home because, you know, once we leave and go out into the community, you don't know like what's being said to us or about us. And you get enough negative words, but to have all these positive words just like
Right.
poured onto these children, right? Like you're pouring love into these kids through this
Absolutely.
book. I when I read through it, I'm a man, but you know, every Black man is still at one point, there's a little Black boy inside of them still, right?
To
So
this day.
yeah.
For
So
sure.
you get that just a strong emotional response. Even the story I shared with you with a coworker, like he's not a Black man,
Mhm.
but he still felt something like, and that's where I feel like it's going to speak to parents as well.
Yeah.
Like you girls put a beautiful project together. You should
Thank
be proud of
you.
yourselves.
Thank
And I'm
you.
proud of you
Thank
as
you.
friends. Like I love this. I love what you did. I love this for you.
Thank you.
And yeah, this is like a layer that you guys can build on. That's a foundational layer.
Yeah.
You guys could turn this into anything that you want, but ultimately like you're making a lasting impact that should be affected and could be affected for generations, right? So
Yeah.
somebody's grandchild that you're never going to meet is going to read that book and be
Mhm.
like, well, who put this together?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know,
That's the goal.
Phaedra
I
and
know.
Bridgette, they
Our
did that.
picture is
They
right
did that.
there.
They did that. They
Two
did
girls from
that.
Southern Cali.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming into District 23.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
You
us.
feel free to come back whenever the next project is. We'd love to have you girls back.
Definitely. It's been an honor. Thank you,
Yeah.
Adam.
Thank you so
I
much.
love it. You guys, hopefully you got something from this. Go check out the book. We will put all our information down there in case you guys want to reach out to them, find out more information, or pick up the books yourself. This has been another District 23 Productions. We always like to remind people that this space is available for you. If you're thinking about podcasting, had a conversation about podcasting, maybe want to do anything, come down, sit down. We've done all the hard work for you. All you need to do is record, and we're here for you for whatever you need. Thank you for being locked in. This is District 23, and we are out of here.